Good morning, everybody. I'm Nikki Stanzione.
And I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
And this is New Mexico Style on Friday. Welcome to Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday.
It hasn't been a very happy Friday for me. I'm so uncomfortable. I'm going to give everybody a good lesson in life.
Oh, no.
When putting on very high heels and alone, just hold on to something if you think you're in a, just one of those people who just can never get hurt. I walk on very uneven surfaces, gravelly ground, very, very slippery floors in 6-inch heels pretty much every day of my life, and I never fall. But putting on my platform shoes in my carpeted bedroom, I wiped out and hurt myself pretty darn bad. So, yeah, so not fun.
No, that is not fun. I have been there. I've had the rolled ankles, and that every time I hear or see of one, it makes me cringe because those are so painful. Yeah. So glad you're here with us today.
Thank you. Through the pain. Now, today obviously is a very big day at New Mexico Style. The new face of Fox will be revealed in a little less than an hour.
Our current face of Fox, Elias Gallegos, is in the green room with the top 5 finalists. Elias, how are the finalists holding up?
Well, everybody here is looking sharp, and they look ready to go. Some of
You
them
look
said
sharp.
Thank you. But the moment that we've all been waiting for is just upon us, and everybody here claims that they've had little sleep tonight. And I said, that's great, perfect training for this job.
Exactly, you know better than anybody. And the thing is, when you had this moment, and you got to have it in a private moment, these people are going to have this reveal publicly, so they have to get that idol face on, like that. Are they ready to cry? Are they what's going to be the kind of reaction? So if they're ready, if they want to do the dramatic thing, get the tissues ready.
Yes, we have tissues on standby, and no, but everybody here, the energy is through the roof. The green room, it's like a party in here, which is, well, that's not too unusual here around Casa Fox. This is a fun place to be and a great place to be employed. So everybody here is very excited, and I am too.
Yes, and you look very, very handsome today.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ryan Seacrest. Elias Gallegos. Thank you so much, and we'll of course check in with you in a little while.
Back to you.
Okay, and let's check in now with KRQE News 13 anchor Elizabeth Alvarez, who has this morning's headlines. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, ladies. What an exciting show you have. And Nikki, I'm glad you're feeling better. I know your pain about what it's like to fall with some massive heels. Yeah, happens,
those are massive.
Way too often. So I'm glad you're feeling better. Good morning to you at home. We begin this morning talking about a woman charged with leaving a toddler in a hot car so long that he died is now out of jail this morning. Sandra Rodriguez Miramontes, an illegal immigrant, posted bond. She was released by Immigration and Custom Enforcement, who was detaining her until her trial. We have learned that last month, Miramontes posted bond at MDC first, then posted bond with ICE. Immigration officials say there are some bond programs that actually allow illegal immigrants to enter into. The 2 students who authorities say plan to shoot up a school in Albuquerque have been kicked out of school for the rest of the year. Albuquerque public school officials tell us a 6th grader at Tony Hillerman Middle School planned to execute a shooting spree after a girl he liked apparently didn't feel the same way about him. Administrators say the boy also planned on killing himself. Now, another student heard about the plot and turned him and his friend, who was also in on the scheme, in. APS will reevaluate what to do with the boys for next school year. Police are also investigating right now. The 2 boys have not yet been charged. Thousands of dollars worth of movie equipment is now missing in New Mexico. It was stolen from a big movie set in Santa Fe. Santa Fe County deputies say a lot of propane bottles, burners, and copper tubing were all stolen from the set of Mark Wahlberg's latest movie, The Lone Survivor. The gear was all at the bottom of the Santa Fe ski area, and deputies say the thieves apparently did a lot of damage to other stuff in order to steal it.
It's always concerning when, items used to make explosives or fires. That's concerning, especially with the dryness that we're experiencing now.
The movie is getting ready to shoot right here in New Mexico, and it is based on a true story about one Navy SEAL's fight to stay alive after the other SEALs on his mission were shot and killed. We're told changes will be on the way for next year's Zozobra event. On top of tickets to go to the event, Santa Fe taxpayers already pay tens of thousands of dollars to just put it on. And this year, Old Man Gloom burned more than just Zozobra. It apparently burned a lot of bridges with its fans, too. The show got longer and tickets got more expensive. New Zozobra organizer Raymond Sandoval has gotten an earful of complaints from the community and tells us that changes will indeed happen next year. Governor Susana Martinez was in the right place at the right time yesterday. Listen to this. The governor apparently jumped into action when one of her security detail officers spotted a child who might be in danger. The governor stopped at a Santa Fe Walgreens when the officer noticed a 1-year-old child in a car with the car running and no adult in sight. The governor went into the store, had the car's driver paged. Well, the dad came out and said he was just making a quick stop to buy diapers and had left the baby in the car because the baby was sleeping. Well, Governor Martinez says she did what any person would have done and should do.
As soon as you see a baby in a car by themselves, you've got to, even if the car is unlocked or locked, you have to go into action right away because you don't know how long that baby's been in there.
Yeah, she's basically saying you got to go into action. The governor gave the man a lecture, as you can imagine, and police were called out to the scene. The man was not charged. However, CYFD is looking into the situation. That wraps it up for your Friday morning headlines. Be sure to catch Matt, Kristen, and myself every weekday morning on KRQE News 13, beginning at 4:30 a.m. Ladies, gonna send it back to you. Happy Friday.
Thank you,
Happy
Elizabeth.
Friday.
And we won't be seeing you live in person for a couple days because we're going to be out on Balloon Fiesta Field early next week. But we'll be thinking about you.
Yes.
Sending it over to you.
I know, right?
Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Well, just in time for the holidays or really any day, the 50 Shades of Grey gift basket could be a good thing for you, don't you think?
Right? It could be an interesting gift, I think. This gift basket is true to all the interesting facets of the 50 Shades of Grey series, right?
Yes, let's talk about what the basket includes. We all know I'm a fan of the book series.
I haven't read it yet.
Okay, listen to this, and I can understand why, having read the books. Handcuffs, eye mask, bubble bath, and assorted gourmet candy and cookies, all tied up with, what else? A rope. A thoughtful gift for the woman who has everything else.
Oh, that scares me.
Okay, I'm wondering, I think that the gourmet cookies and candy part is because there is a scene, I say scene like it's a movie, but there is one particular moment where there's a little feeding going on in a blindfold. Kind of like 9.5 weeks-ish.
So,
kind of thing.
if those are the objects in the basket, I can
Yeah.
only imagine what this book, it must be quite interesting. Because all of those have a place in the book, I would imagine.
Yeah, for the most part, I would say definitely, yes. That's all I'm going to say.
I'll leave it at that.
I'll leave it at that.
And if you want this gift basket, it can be found at giftbasketsolution.com.
Yeah, it could be a cool, but hey, look, if you have somebody to share your life with or somebody to, have some fun with, go for it. Okay, now let's change subjects for a second because we're speaking about women, right? We're speaking about things women love. Well, Cadbury has just launched a candy bar for women only. Listen to this. The Crispello features 3 chocolate-covered wafers in 3 resealable packages because, who'd want to eat the entire thing in one sitting besides me?
Oh, come on. Well, maybe when your leg's all propped up and you're hurt, you should eat a chocolate bar all in one
Propped
sitting.
up right now.
Yeah, well, the whole bar will amount to 165 calories, which really isn't that bad.
It's really not.
So it does come down on the lighter side. After all, clearly this is a marketing ploy, so you know what? Guys can dig in too, right?
Yeah, why not?
But I like it. You could reseal it.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Because you know what? Sometimes I can't take a lot of chocolate at once.
That's the thing, in all honesty, I'm a chip. I can't stop with the chips.
I know, me either.
Right? But when
you
it
have one, you can't.
we're more with the carby starches, but when it comes to the sugary sweets, I actually do get a fill with just a bite sometimes. So it's actually a pretty good thing. Now, here's a little shift in the subject because this is something that obviously is such big news in our nation right now. On Wednesday, of course, we saw the first of 3 presidential debates, and since it's likely that the 2 candidates will recycle the same arguments and some of those zingers that we've been hearing for months, why not break up the monotony with a drinking game?
All right. This drinking game will no doubt make the presidential debates easier to swallow. The game is simple. Every time a phrase on the board is mentioned, you take a drink. Let's read some of these phrases out loud.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see Cadillac. Ooh, Cadillac. What kind of-
Fan.
Okay, because of cars. Okay, the car industry. Chicago, of course, that's where Obama's from. What else?
Ha ha ha.
What's ha ha ha? Let's see. Cayman Islands. Okay, I guess you could kind of come up with some things, but listen, bingo is fun any kind of day, and I'm not going to say a drinking game once in a while isn't fun either. It certainly could be.
If you want to do it the local way, try it next week with the word balloon.
Good one.
Hot
Yes.
air,
Hot
wind,
air balloon.
weather.
I like that, Larry Barker.
Yes. Oh, and
Mask Ascension.
Speaking of Larry Barker, I have to bring this out for a second. We're gonna have these.
Gotta love it. Oh, and I want to tell you guys, if you're into these games, including maybe getting a balloon game of your own, for more information, you can visit the political news site, motherjones.com. That's actually how you can find out about that political debate game. Actually, I think it sounds pretty fun. I think it's a good way to get us informed about things and have a good time at the same time. Because sometimes that's, you know, I know when you try to remember things sometimes, even when you're in school and you're doing your history lessons, I used to try to do word association with games or songs.
Right.
So this could be a good way to get your political savvy up.
Yeah, but if you play too much, you might not remember.
That's true. I forgot the drinking part. Okay, so you could do it the non-alcoholic way or the alcoholic way. It's up to you.
There you go.
Now, of course, the big event this weekend, as we just talked about, is the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, and the world is converging on the Duke City. More than 500 balloons will launch tomorrow from Balloon Fiesta Park, and today, pilots are wrapping up the registration process.
Vendors are hauling in their equipment to keep spectators fed and happy. Organizers say that 1/3 of a mile of food to choose from. There's going to be that along Main Street, and then those include 18 new vendors. One of them, a longtime New Mexico favorite, Sadie's.
Yeah, I'm so glad they're going to be there. I know we're going to be hitting up Sadie's booth for sure. And
Chick-fil-A's going to be there too.
Oh, I heard that. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Good food, good food. And getting into the park can obviously be tricky. That's the bad part. So we want you to consider a park and ride.
Right. Everything you need to know about Balloon Fiesta you can find on casa.com.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And what we'll do for you is we want to kind of lay it out for you a little bit so you know how to kind of you know, how to plan ahead, how to make an itinerary. So here's tomorrow morning's Balloon Fiesta schedule, beginning bright and early, of course, at 5:30 a.m. with the Dawn Patrol.
Right, and then you have the Morning Glow at 6:30 a.m., opening ceremonies at 6:45, Mass Ascension at 7, and then at 8, the ABQ chainsaw carving.
Ooh, that sounds a little scary. Now, by afternoon hours, more fun ahead. 2 o'clock, gas balloon race inflation. We've got another ABQ chainsaw carving taking place at 4 o'clock. Followed by the Twinkle Twinkle Glow at 5:45. And then at 6 o'clock, when that sun starts to get a little dim, the gas balloon race launch begins. And then, of course, once the lights go down and the sky is dark, we get that afterglow fireworks show beginning at 8 o'clock. That's going to be fabulous.
Oh, it is going to be awesome. And don't forget, we also have the Larry Barker, as I mentioned, Mask Ascension. And we're going to have a lot of these we're giving away for free. So come by and get them. Hey, Halloween costume ideas right there.
Yeah, and you'll be there tomorrow morning.
I will be there tomorrow morning with Mark. We're going to keep a close eye on the winds. You know, the weather always a big factor, but it should be a really fun day.
It will. And then, of course, New Mexico Style will be there every weekday morning next week, and that's going to be on our regular hour. And we'll give you more information as the show continues. In the meantime, let's just shift gears for a moment. We want to mention that students at 11 Albuquerque schools will get an up-close and personal look at those balloons. It's called Albuquerque Aloft. Around 20 balloons will inflate right at the schools. How cool is that?
That is really cool. So you'll see a few balloons today and then a lot of them tomorrow. But for a full list of the schools participating, you can check our website at casa.com.
Yeah, and if you want to beat the Balloon Fiesta crowds, what you can also do is you can head north to Angel Fire, a place that I know you love. Summer may be over, but those thrill seekers like Kristen can still take advantage of the zip line tour all the way through winter.
That's right. The tour kicked off this summer, but Angel Fire Resort says it's going to continue to offer the zip line for those who just can't get enough of that adrenaline rush. The zip line is going to take you 50 stories above the forest floor. It's really high. It's breathtaking. And then it's on a 1,600-foot long cable, so you get a nice long ride too. I tell you what, when it opens up out over that canyon, it'll take your breath away.
I bet.
So you know what? If you don't want to ski, you know, there's so much to do there during the winter anyway. Skiing, snowboarding, stuff for kids. But if you want to go to that zip line too, there's going to be so many options for you.
It's awesome. I'm glad you did that because it gave us a really good first-hand perspective of what it would be like, and it sounds fun. But if you're a klutz like myself and you can't even make it through your bedroom to get to the bathroom in your shoes, you can also seek refuge in a movie theater.
That's true. That is true. Alexis Ashley DeVorkin tells us what's new in theaters.
Even after death, the muscles respond to electricity.
Director Tim Burton returns to his stop-motion animation roots with his 3D tale Frankenweenie, about a young Victor Frankenstein who uses his scientific know-how to bring his dog Sparky back to life.
Your mother and I are going to be taken.
Liam Neeson is back as former CIA agent Brian Mills in the action-packed Taken 2. This time he's racing to rescue his wife and daughter after the father of one of the kidnappers Neeson took down in part 1 comes back to seek revenge.
We sing songs without any instruments. It's all from our mouths.
The ladies of Pitch Perfect belt out their best in the musical comedy set in the competitive world of college singing.
Welcome to the State Mastery in Butter competition.
Jennifer Garner and Ty Burrell get competitive as blue ribbon butter carvers, challenged by a young newcomer in butter.
Have you worked with butter before? I've worked with it all.
The dark comedy is out on demand and in select theaters.
These your paper boys? What they gonna do for us?
Other star-driven indie films making limited theatrical runs include The Paperboy, with Nicole Kidman, Zac Efron, Matthew McConaughey, and more, in a circa 1960s thriller following a murder investigation.
Kathy.
Mom?
Oh my God!
And Hugh Laurie heads up The Oranges, a quirky flick about two families whose lives are flipped upside down when one of their daughters returns home and strikes up an affair with her father's best friend across the street.
Harry, do something!
Family drama, science gone awry, and some unusual hobbies await you at the theater this week. In New York, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.